Welcome in to NFL Daily. I am Will Scott. It is draft week, and we are going to see more trades go down after the Aaron Rodgers deal. Again, he's getting traded from the Packers to the Jets. What other trades could happen during draft week? We'll break down 10 players that could get moved this week here in a second. I want to hear from you, though, down in the comments. Who do you think gets traded during the NFL draft? Go down in the comments section. Let me know. Courtland Sutton, maybe Dalvin Cook. Some interesting names we're going to discuss here in a second. And we are going to be live for the entirety of the NFL draft. It all begins with our coverage on Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So hopefully you can join us for that. And be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications so you know when we go live. Let's start with DeAndre Hopkins here. I think he's the most likely trade candidate that we're going to discuss. The wide receiver from the Arizona Cardinals. I believe a trade could get done this week. There's been a lot of buzz in recent weeks about this. Top 5 destinations here. The Buffalo Bills remain very much engaged on a DeAndre Hopkins trade. I expect them to be very much in the mix here until a deal is done. The New York Giants are a team that I think would be a great fit for Hopkins. Kansas City would make a lot of sense. I mean, can you imagine Mahomes and Hopkins in the same offense? The Patriots continue to be linked. Not sure what Bill O'Brien being there means because, of course, Bill O'Brien was in Houston when he got traded from Houston to Arizona. Houston Texans are a dark horse here. He spends a lot of time still in Houston, and let's say the Texans go quarterback at 12 and let's say Will Anderson at 2. They still need some wide receiver help. If they don't go wide receiver at number 12, maybe a Hopkins trade would make sense for the Texans, and they certainly have the draft capital to get this deal done. But I'm thinking it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, the Buffalo Bills. I think those are the top 2 contenders here, and I do believe one of those teams could make a trade for DeAndre Hopkins on draft night. Where will Hopkins get traded? Let me know down in the comments section. You don't have to say one of the 5 teams I just mentioned. In my opinion, those are the top 5 contenders. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Where does D-Hop get traded? Devin White is somebody else that could get moved. He has been in trade rumors recently. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers linebacker had a phenomenal season for Tampa Bay this past year. 124 tackles, 5.5 sacks. I really like Devin White. I know some people say he's overrated. I respectfully disagree with that bunch. He has been remarkably consistent each and every single year. He's just reliable, and on top of that, he's a leader. Here are some of the possible Devin White trade destinations. The Buffalo Bills, they lost Tremaine Edmonds. They could use some linebacker help. The Broncos, the new head coach Sean Payton, could use some more help on that defense. The Dolphins did sign David Long, but that linebacker room could still improve. The Los Angeles Chargers I've seen linked, as well as the Detroit Lions. The Lions might go all in and try to get a deal done for Devin White, but I do not expect him to be back in Tampa Bay. Now, the one complication that will come with trading for him is you're probably going to have to give him a new contract, and he apparently wants close to $20 million per year, which is a lot. Courtland Sutton, the wide receiver from the Denver Broncos, someone else that we could see traded this week. Now, taking a look at his stats, pre-extension and then post-extension, obviously the numbers aren't as good, but he's still a good wide receiver. And keep in mind, this past season he was playing with Russell Wilson, which certainly didn't help the numbers because Wilson really struggled this past season. Really, all the Broncos wide receivers we've heard in trade rumors, Jerry Jeudy, Sutton, I think one of those guys could get moved, but I think they'll end up keeping Jeudy. Sutton is the player that could get traded here before the NFL draft, or maybe even during the NFL draft. We will see what happens. Want to tell you about our sponsor, Fume. Thanks to them for sponsoring today's show. Are you tired of struggling with bad habits? Cold turkey might be great for sandwiches, but there's a better way to break free from those pesky habits, and it doesn't involve weird mind voodoo or other bizarre tactics, including our sponsor, Fume. Introducing our sponsor, Fume, an innovative award-nominated device that helps you kick bad habits to the curb by focusing on the good parts. Scan the QR code on screen to learn more. Fume is all about embracing the natural. It's not electronic. And instead of vapor, uses flavored air. Best of all, it's free of harmful chemicals and packed with delicious all-natural flavors. The adjustable airflow dial and movable parts and magnets make it perfect for fidgeting, which can help alleviate stress and anxiety while you break your habit. I wasn't sure what to expect at first, but I was pleasantly surprised by the taste, feel, and look of Fume. Breaking a habit can be tough, but with Fume, it's easy, enjoyable, and even fun. With over 100,000 customers and countless success stories, there's no reason you can't be next. Start your journey towards a healthier lifestyle with the Journey Pack from Fume. Visit tryfume.com/chatsports and use code chatsports for 10% off when you purchase the Journey Pack today. That's tryfum.com/chatsports. Don't forget to use code chatsports for 10% off at checkout. Try the Journey Pack. Comes with some delicious flavors, and it's going to help you kick your bad habits to the curb. Tryfum.com/chatsports. That link and that promo code is in the comments and the description of today's video. And better yet, scan that QR code you see on screen. Let's talk about Trey Lance. We heard that report last week that the 49ers have received calls for Lance, who, of course, was the third overall pick in the draft 2 years ago. You got Brock Purdy, you got Sam Darnold also on this roster, which means they could look to move Trey Lance. Brock Purdy's recovery is going well. He's expected to be good to go before the season. I think the Titans and the Texans are the best fits here for Trey Lance. But he makes sense for several teams. And we've heard that the Texans aren't sold on, some of these quarterbacks, and maybe other teams feel the same way. And if that's the case, then you have an opportunity to maybe just give up a third or a fourth round pick for Lance. If I'm San Francisco, I don't think I would take anything less than a second for him right now, at least before the draft. Maybe after the draft, and once we hear more clarity about Brock Purdy, maybe they'll take a little bit less. But if I'm San Francisco here on draft week, I want a second round pick for Trey Lance. Best fit for Trey Lance, what do you think? Let me know down in the comments. I think it's Tennessee or Houston. You obviously have some connections with both of those organizations. Ran Carthon, the new GM in Tennessee, was a 49ers executive, and then the new head coach in Houston, D'Amico Ryans, was with the Niners, as well as offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. Kevin Byard is someone on Tennessee that we could see moved. And nobody on Tennessee is safe. I mean, you see so many players for Tennessee that we're hearing in trade rumors. Kevin Byard, one of the best safeties in the league, is somebody that we're hearing. Dalvin Cook, have heard a lot of speculation about his future in Minnesota. What is going to happen with Dalvin Cook? And I doubt that he's going to be back with the Minnesota Vikings. I do believe he's going to be a cap casualty. The Vikings can save some money moving him, and he's been in trade rumors, but he could get cut. And the Dolphins are a team that we're consistently hearing linked to Cook. They were actually in trade conversations with the Vikings last month, but no deal came together. Derrick Henry, another running back that could get moved. The trade noise hasn't been as loud as it was last month, but we're still hearing the Derrick Henry trade rumors. Ran Carthon did say today that he has not had calls on Henry. So choose to believe that or not, but we're still hearing his name in trade rumors. Here are some of the teams we're hearing. The Buffalo Bills might make some sense. Philadelphia has been linked to him a lot recently. The Dolphins might be in play, as well as the Giants and the Broncos. Now, Henry is a free agent next year, so it might make some sense for the Titans to trade him, get a haul for him, because he might not re-sign next year. You want to get something in exchange, and the Titans have kind of started to blow it up a little bit. Maybe they're headed toward a rebuild. And if they're going toward a rebuild, it would make some sense to also move Ryan Tannehill. And we're hearing some rumors involving Tannehill this week from Jeremy Fowler. Here's what the ESPN analyst said. Teams I talked to do believe that Tannehill could be or is available via trade. He's got a $36 million cap hit. New GM Ran Carthon is resetting this roster in a big way. They're making some moves. And so, right now, they would need a replacement. Though, they would need somebody in place. And maybe that replacement is somebody they're targeting in the draft. They apparently like C.J. Stroud and Will Levis. Hendon Hooker's also been linked to them. But when you're talking about Tannehill, who would want him? I just don't think it makes sense for any team to trade for Ryan Tannehill. I thought maybe the Jets is a Rodgers backup plan, but obviously Rodgers the Jets. So I just don't know which team makes sense for Ryan Tannehill. His days as an NFL starter might be headed toward being over. Will Ryan Tannehill be traded? Type Y for yes or type in for no down in the comment section. His contract makes it very difficult to trade him. So we will see what happens. But Jeremy Fowler is saying that a lot of teams believe he is going to be available in a trade, maybe even this week. Budda Baker has requested a trade from the Arizona Cardinals. He has 2 years, $27 million left on his contract. The Eagles are a team that could be a strong fit, and we're actually seeing some Philadelphia players recruiting Baker to the city of brotherly love, including Boston Scott. Here's what Boston Scott quote tweeted the other day when Budda Baker said, "Hard work always prevails. Congrats to Jalen Hurts on that extension. Best thing about a guy like him is the work never stops." And then he tweets the Howie Rosen meme. So Budda Baker might be Philly bound. We'll have to see, but that's someone that very well could get traded this week. Lamar Jackson, what's going to happen with Lamar? He is still trying to figure out his contract situation. He requested trade, but the Ravens signed OBJ. I think they want to keep Lamar in Baltimore. But if the right offer came across their desk this week, they might take it. But it would certainly take a haul to land the Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson. Not only a haul, you'd also have to pay him probably similar deal what Jalen Hurts just got, if not more. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Again, we're going live at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Thursday night. Looking forward to seeing you all during our live draft coverage.